the opposition parties, which was called by Zuma. And I said, I'm not going. So I asked Floyd and Marshall to attend the SG. They went and Dali was there. Where he said the EFF must close down with the other parties and then form something under Zuma's leadership. I mean, things happen the way they happen. I mean, Floyd and Marshall, you know him, he's just there and he speaks when it is necessary. But Floyd is the one who was leading the discussion. Who said, no ways, it's not going to happen, and all of that. And then he comes back extremely shocked that Dali is not only proposing it, he has written it down. He has had time to think about it and wrote it down. So I said, no. So then we agreed that we must meet, all parties must go consult their leadership, blah, blah. What is our position? I said, but that's madness. We can't do that. We closed the EFF to Zuma.
Good day, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube podcast. My name is Julius Zuma, and today we'll be talking about what's trending. We have seen that the EFF leadership is leaving one by one. So, Advocate Dalim Pofu leaves the EFF to join the MK party. Yes, you've heard the news. But Julius Malema has sat down in the EFF podcast to spill the beans and to maybe just talk about what is really happening, why people are leaving the EFF. So we heard that Julius Malema has been making rounds in the past week, accusing some of the EFF leaders of conspiring against his back. Now in this podcast, Julius Malema has revealed that the likes of Advocate Mpofu and Floyd Shivambu have agreed because they have met with Jacob Zuma before the MK party was officially launched. They have agreed to say that they need to disband or to destroy the EFF so that the opposing parties come together to form just one alliance, right? So he says that Advocate Dalimpofu has everything figured out and has written down even the constitution of how to disband the EFF and to maybe put it under the wing of or to be part of Umkhonto Wesizwe. So Julius Malema continues to say that there was a meeting that was scheduled with all the opposition party leaders, the likes of ATM Zungula, the likes of UDM Bantu Hulumisa, the likes of the EFF. But he said that he himself never attended, but he just sent his delegations there to go and listen to what the former president Jacob Zuma had to say. But now Jacob Zuma's plan here, I feel or I see that it has been exposed. So Jacob Zuma's plan of going underground was to literally take out the ANC, but Zuma has a plan. So Jacob Zuma's plan was for these opposition parties to come together and form just one alliance that will be strong and maybe will be opposing to the ANC, right? So Julius Malema says that when these guys came back, Jacob Zuma spoke more than 3 hours, and it seems like after the meeting, everyone that was there, including the delegates, agreed with Jacob Zuma. And now the message was conveyed to him to say that President Zuma wants to speak with you, and another meeting now was arranged. So bear this in mind. Julius Malema says that when he attended the meeting, he knew exactly what was the plan and how Zuma wants everyone to come together, in which this was not something that he was willing to sacrifice, meaning sacrificing the EFF to be under MK or to be part of MK, right? So when Julius Malema agreed and he went there and he met with President Jacob Zuma in a meeting, and everyone now was called or was chased to be outside so that Zuma will have the one-on-one with Julius Malema. And Julius Malema on his mind is like, no, I know what this man is about to say and I will not agree. I will just oppose him before he goes any further. Because if you allow Zuma to speak for that long, it means you are highly going to agree with whatsoever that he is proposing, right? So Jacob Zuma started in a meeting to convince Julius Malema to maybe destroy the EFF and come on board. But when Zuma just spoke for a few minutes, 15 to 20 minutes, then Julius Malema interjected and said that, Baba, I have my own views. I want to tell you something. Then that is where he said that, no, I'm not leaving the EFF. I'm not destroying the EFF, right? So, yeah, seems like him and Jacob Zuma never come to terms, never come to any solid agreement. That is why he said that after the meeting, the guys that were sent out, they were called back to come. And the guys were shocked. He says in their faces were shocked. How? Why so quick? Because Tina, we stayed longer. Why you guys are just taking a few moments? Because Julius Malema went there knowing very well what he wanted, and it was clear to Jacob Zuma, right? So now he has come and he has declared that he has no relationship with Jacob Zuma and whatsoever. So remember when Floyd left, he did say that there are some prominent members in the EFF leadership who will be following in the likes of Floyd Shivamwe. As we have seen that advocate Dalimpofu has now followed, and there are calls for now Luzi. Seems like Luzi naye ngathi akahlelanga kahle laphayana, but Julius Malema even tweeted something that there are even more prominent leaders who are singing, who are still yet to leave him, right, in the EFF. So can we say that Jacob Zuma has a hand in destroying the EFF? When I talk about the EFF being destroyed, I'm not talking about the EFF getting dismantled, right? Or the EFF now has lost support. No, the EFF is still strong, still has supporters. But remember that we are talking about public figures and prominent people who've played a role in the EFF. And some of these guys, they have strong support from the EFF ground forces. So there are people that a piece of pie that advocate Dalimpofu will take from the EFF if Dlozi leave. There are people who are following Dlozi. They are influenced by him. They will live with him. Floyd, same. Others, same. Right? So this perception of thinking that the EFF, everyone agrees to whatever Julius Malema say or points, everyone will have now to clap the hands and blindly follow. Now, not everyone. So the EFF, piece by piece, is being taken out, piece by piece. So can we say that the EFF maybe has some internal struggles within inside wars that are marring the EFF and are just now coming to the point of them coming out, being blown out of proportion, right? For everyone to see what was happening internal in the EFF. So it seems like there's a lot happening in the EFF. The leadership there are just having disagreements, different views, different philosophy, different agenda. So they are not agreeing to terms. So if then they are not agreeing to terms, this is what will happen. If leaders feel violated, if leaders, their voices are not heard or they are being unshined by someone, they will want to seek a better offer or better place to be for them to grow and where they will be heard, right? So we don't know. Maybe Julius Malema doesn't want to be under the wing of Jacob Zuma, to be maybe controlled by him, because we know who really controls the EMK party. So he still wants to be by himself and just acting and doing what he wants without anyone pulling strings on him to say go left, go right, go left. So he knows that Ubaba will have that influence to say that no, you don't do as you want to do. You don't talk as you want to talk. There's a way you must, the approach and all. So maybe he doesn't want that. So he feels like, no, I must just keep the EFF to myself.